Okay, David. We just came off of St. John's Avenue and we're headed south on Roosevelt. We're coming up on San Juan Avenue, and that's the intersection where Roosevelt Mall used to start. It's now called Roosevelt Square. They tore the mall down, and it's all open air. You know, the buildings are not connected. They're not undercover like they used to be. You'll notice the CSX railroad tracks that have always run along Roosevelt on the right. This is San Juan Avenue. And you'll notice that there's a little more traffic than there used to be. A lot more traffic than there used to be. Hello. Hello. I'm out. Why? I'm going down to almost Orange Park. Why? No. No. All right, bye. Anyway, waiting for the light to change. Here we go. Now we're going south. We're passing what used to be Roosevelt Mall, now called Roosevelt Square. And I'll let you get a look at what it looks like now over here. And we're headed toward the Roosevelt Bridge over the Ortega River. That's Roosevelt Square over there. That's it. Now, something you'll recognize over here, except you won't recognize the high-rise bridge, but there's now no drawbridge. It's a high-rise bridge over Roosevelt, over the water. One thing you will recognize over there is Huckins. Still there. Still doing boats. Still doing boats. And there's our favorite piece of water out there. There's the railroad bridge. Still there. Same old railroad bridge. Water we've been on so many thousands of times. All right, now we're back on Roosevelt, pointed south, headed down toward Benicia. You know, it used to be 2-lane, bumpity bump concrete road. Now it's 6 lanes, nicely paved. Railroad track still there. Everything along here is pretty much the same. Ortega Forest subdivision over on the right. This is the entrance to it right here at Verona, which used to be the city limit. Remember, when you got right here, you went from the city out into the county. But of course, it's all consolidated now. It's all one municipality, the city of Jacksonville, which incorporates the entire county area. So, this is Roosevelt Boulevard headed south toward Benicia. And Benicia subdivision kind of starts on the left. They call this over here Ortega Terrace, which is the little outfit between old Ortega and the newer part of Ortega. And there's Yacht Club Road we're just passing. And we're coming up on Benicia. You can't see it for the trees and stuff, but the area that we used to call Moon Lake. Remember the time we swam across from my house to come over here and go to the 7-Eleven and get a Coke? Well, that's right here on the right. To the right of us is Moon Lake, and to the left of us is where that 7-Eleven used to be, right in there. It's a cleaners and laundry now. And this is the Venetia Shopping Center on the left, and we are going to turn right on Timuquana Road and go over toward Ortega Farms Boulevard. Down there at the far off, you'll see a Navy P-3 taking off over from the Naval Air Station over the road. So we're at Timuquana and Roosevelt. All right, we're turning right onto Timuquana. And there's the P-3 up there, going around for some touch and goes, I imagine. Okay, this is, remember Timuquana used to be 2 lanes with all the houses had yards. Well, the houses on Timuquana here don't have yards anymore because they 4-laned this thing and they took all their front yards. So where all these little houses used to be owned by people, now they're all rentals and they're not very well kept up. They're kind of ratty. But anyway, you will recognize this bridge. Of course, it's not the old wooden bridge that we knew, but it's the new concrete bridge, high-rise bridge. There are no more flat bridges in Jacksonville. They're all high-rise bridges now. So, and I'll turn the camera down facing south toward Maurice Frazier's house, Claudia Cox's house, and all of that, and then pan back around and you're looking up to the north. You can just see the end of the Ortega Island we watched them dredge. So we're coming up on Ortega Farms Boulevard. And we're going to turn left and go by your house. This is a little, remember the corner where the little beer joint used to be? Well, this is it. The beer joint is long gone. Vivian Martin's little store. And right over here on the right is where Buzzy Russell used to live. That's all gone. And there's Delphin Lane. And we're going real slow by your house. And down to the left, oh, here's 107th. Here's Mr. W4EEZ's place over there. It's gone. And this is the place next to your house. And we're coming up on your house right now. And there's your house. That is your house. And here's what's across the street from your house. All houses down on the river. And here's old man Rowell's place. It's gone. Nothing left of it. Old man Rowell's house and the shop and everything's long gone. So here we're headed on Ortega Farms Boulevard toward Winston's house. And you can see on both sides of the road, it's just houses. Just houses. Here's 110th Street, which goes up by the school. It's by Timuquana School, and there's Sandy Landing down here where Winston's house was back there. That's all gone. Everything's changed back here. So here's Ortega Hills, or no, what was this called? This was called what? I can't remember. Venetia Terrace over here. This was called Venetia Terrace. Little houses on the right. Now on the left, of course, is waterfront. You got big fancy houses down there now. And somewhere right down here is on the left is where Butch's place is. I don't know what's back there now, but somewhere back in here is Butch Frazier's place. I lose track of what is where now. Now we're coming down here to the dead end at 118th Street. It's still dead ends. It doesn't go any further. JEA, the Jacksonville Electric Authority, which has all of the water and power and sewer in Jacksonville now, has a big station here that pumps all the way under the river over to the Naval Air Station, takes all the sewage from the Naval Air Station, brings it over here, and pumps it into a gigantic treatment plant. And now we're headed west on 118th Street, and they got a big park over here where it used to be all woods and dairy farms and Wells Dairy and all that stuff was over here. So now it's all parks. So this is 118th Street going toward Morse Avenue, Seaboard Avenue, Morse Avenue, and Blanding Boulevard. That's where we're going now. And the big thing is, when we get up to Blanding, you are not going to recognize Blanding Boulevard. It is major commercial buildup all the way from Jacksonville now beyond Middleburg. It is one big commercial strip with car lots and mobile home lots and all kinds of stores and everything you can imagine. Major development. The Blanding Boulevard from Duval County into Clay County and Orange Park